as an example, I looked at the story of Martha and Mary, and Martha's in the kitchen, and
Hmm.
Mary's the seminary student, if you will. And
Right.
Jesus is saying, Mary's chosen what is better. And again, there's nothing wrong with the kitchen, it's just priorities. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, so Jesus is the first rabbi I know of to have a
Yeah.
disciple. And so I ended up in seminary. I had no idea where it was going to lead me, but those doors kept opening. So the doors to motherhood kept slamming shut. Try
Right.
as we did, but the doors to ministry in other ways kept opening.
Okay. Yeah, and the Mary and Martha, that's I found that was a very beautiful story. It's very touching that
Mhm.
that you shared in the book there. And
So nobody's mother. Talk about
Nobody's Mother.
nobody's
Yeah.
mother. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great book.
Thank
Um,
you.
and yeah, I'm going to have some links for the book and anything else that you'd like to have linked to an Amazon
Great.
page, perhaps, or something
Yeah.
like that in the description.
Great. Thanks.
All right, perfect. So then that sent you on the journey to seek out this, try to separate this context of
Right.
cultural, what's my cultural baggage and what is the text actually saying?
Yes,
And that's,
exactly.
yeah, and I think we all kind of are trying to unravel those.
Yeah, as well we should, right? As well we should. So we know that if Paul says, come before winter, that that's not spoken to everybody. It's for
Yes,
everybody, but it's not to everybody.
right.
That one's easy. It gets a
Yes,
little harder when you say greet one another with a holy kiss. In the West, we don't do that, but there are
right.
parts of the world where they're like, but it's like in there 4 or 5 or 6 times. Like, so, must be done literally, wash one another's feet. And so the
Yeah,
first thing I really had to do was explore, how do you know? What are some of the markers in the text? One marker is, who's the audience? Is it a letter to Timothy that benefits all of us, but is a letter with, the second person you is in singular, right? Rather than to the whole
right.
church, y'all, as we
Okay.
would say here in the South.
Okay.
Um, and, so that's one of the questions that I had to explore. But really, I went to seminary to answer the question about who am I? What was woman made for? What am I here for? Not really thinking I would teach. I just had to know for myself. I was ready to obey. I just had to know what the parameters were,
Yeah,
because it came down to, if you sense God has given you teaching gifts, and you have an opportunity, is it you go girl, or you're being a pushy broad, back off? And I just needed to know what the parameters were. Little did I know that that would lead to a broader ministry, because lots of people are asking these same questions. But initially, it was really for me and my own identity to figure out, what does the text
okay.
say?